when I was in my first share house, I used to do like the really shitty. I've just come out of school, like high school, and I'm not a full adult thing of like keeping a lot of my snacks in a grocery cardboard box in my bedroom.
Oh yeah, right.
And I think that's just something you could take into your relationship with Hum. If you guys just have some cardboard boxes by the bed.
What? Do you think we're allowed to have food upstairs? Okay.
Forgot you live with your parents. One thing is known, and it is this. Waterdeep, the City of Splendors, never misses an opportunity for a good piss-up. Today is the day of Sir Roderick Shaw's funeral, performed in front of symbolic empty casket for a body was never found. Sir Roderick, you would remember, was the last open lord of the city, and he went missing months ago when the vampiric court of Strahd infiltrated the city's leadership. Now the vampires are gone, now peace has returned, and Roderick Shaw was never heard of again. But civic government continues, and a funeral ensures proper succession and a public holiday to boot. Most of the festivities are funded by the guilds and managed by the temples, and a major wake has been planned at the Halls of Justice, the triumvirate temple of Torm, Tyr, and Ilmata Deep in the Castle Ward. This will be a party for the ages, one to make sure that Sir Roderick is proud. Anyone who is anyone in the city will be there, and just outside, at a small side entrance to an annex off the Halls of Justice, there is an affable-looking cleric of a certain age arguing over an invite with a doorman. Mm-hmm. No, I get it. It's just that, firstly, this isn't an invite. This is a cleric's pass, and it is only good for you, not for you plus 3 mates. For with you is Zephyr Star and Nathan Skullbread, nay Deathlich.
Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you so much for bringing that to my attention. What was your name?
Brother Burstle.
Brother Burstle. Yeah, look, the thing is, we all have invites. Deathlich?
Yep. Yep. What's his voice again?
The third one was closer.
Yeah, okay.
All of us here have invites, obviously.
Right. Well then, great. If you give me your invites, I can let you in.
But you've not let me. I've set up the story. You haven't let me get. You haven't let me get to Act 2 of the story.
Let him finish.
A queue is forming behind you, sir.
Yes, indeed. And I'm sure they're all interested in what I have to say. The thing was, we all got our invites, and I said, everybody give me your invite so we don't lose them. And I put them in my travel.
It's got a bum bag.
Well, it's not quite a bum bag. It goes on the inside. It's a travel belt.
Like a security wallet?
Well, exactly.
It's to stop thieves.
It's to stop because we're, it's a big event. It's who's who and I'm who, and,
right.
and what I'm saying is pickpockets abound.
So your names would be on the door list?
Well, yes.
All right, great.
Can I see the door list?
No, he's holding the door list. Can
Deathlich see the door list?
No, you're standing. The way that this works is he's a doorman, so he's standing in front of the door, facing you, applicants to the door.
Okay.
What do you want to try?
Can Alex see the? What's that guy just saying?
Zephyr Bell.
Can Zephyr see the door list? Zephyr's quite famous.
Is she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't played with you.
Zephyr's like Grimes.
Oh, haven't we?
No, we haven't. Anyway, I'm not here.
In my mind, Zephyr's Grimes.
Zephyr's like.
Yeah.
Zephyr's
I'm
like
about Grimes. Everyone's like, oh yeah, but like, could you name one of my songs? Probably.
Yeah.
I think
she did the intro music to the Hilda Netflix cartoon.
Zephyr is like Triple J unearthed artist famous.
Oh, so not Grimes. Okay.
So it's Montaigne.
But I mean,
Montaigne's more famous than that.
Montaigne a few years ago, maybe.
Yeah, old Montaigne.
All right.
Old Montaigne, down by the sugar mill.
Okay.
The other thing is that you understand that like the cleric pass means that you were meant to be here earlier for the singing and the processional.
Yes.
You've missed the funeral. The funeral ended 3 hours ago. This is just the wake.
Yes.
This is just the party.
But I need to be here for the wake.
But you weren't here for the procession.
I'm blessing the canapes.
What does that entail?
Well, it's you get up there and you do it's some complicated religious things.
That's fine. My name is Brother Burstle. I'm obviously a priest.
But have you done the canapes?
No, I've never heard of it before.
Do you want to eat some unblessed canapes?
Well, yeah, again, this might be above your pay grade if you haven't done the course, but it's part blessing, part, if I'm honest, health and safety.
Okay, while this is happening, Zephyr, you turn around, possibly anxious to be anywhere but here, and you see running helter-skelter towards you, making a beeline towards Tomothan and Deathlich, is a dogfolk ranger in a green clothes with a beautifully carved... Was it you?
No, it's... it is you.
A you staff who's racing through the city. It's quite beaten up, to be honest. Scratches and sort of a scar on their cheek, but
6 hit points.
yeah, running as fast as they can towards you.
Guys, there was we went to go and look at a dead body, and it's just our cheese friend wanted to touch one, and then there was this dipshit, and he had his uncle was there, but he was the dead body, and he was gonna get the piece of paper with the dead body, and then a guy with a lantern, and that didn't work, but he made a skeleton come, and then the skeleton hit me, and
Sorry, who jerked off the skeleton? This is one thing at a time.
know what? He had a magic lantern that didn't work, and then it still didn't work, but then a skeleton came up.
All right. Does that clear things up to you, Mr. Doorman?
I'm just going to... Actually, this door is actually closed. Everybody else go around the front. Thank you, I'll be Brother Burstall. Well thought out character. And the door's slammed shut.
Guys, we have to go to the City of the Dead. Everyone's getting attacked by skeletons, and the lantern still doesn't work, but I think there's magic in it, and he's like a
A necromancer?
Necromite.
Oh, he's a happy little necromite, is he?
Yes, bright as bright can be. We all enjoy our necromites.
Is that a baffling reference for our international viewers? Is that a reference to the Dolomites or Vegemite?
No,
It's
Vegemite.
Vegemite. Yeah.
Our mummy says we're growing stronger every single week.
The Dolomites is probably a baffling reference to our international listeners, but just to
bringing them up.
Just to bring you in, there's sort of a a capitalist propaganda machine in Australian schools where when you get into kindergarten or year one,
You're like 6 years old.
a representative from like one of the 4 major banks,
The Commonwealth Bank of Australia.
which used to be a government-run bank,
But now it's
privatised.
absolutely 100% a private entity.
And if you thought that the name suggested that it is a government entity, and there might be some confusion about that, there has been a law case to the effect that it is not confusing at all.
So they will turn up at your school and they'll say, "Hey, do you guys know these happy little Dolomites?" And you'll be like, "What, the mountains?" And like, no. There's these funny little banking creatures.
This kid in your vision
The one
knows,
kid who's been to Europe.
knows about a European mountain range.
Wait, is this guy talking about the Dolomites?
Yeah, he's talking about the mountain range.
This guy's talking about this mountain range?
And they give you this...
Sorry, have you interrupted my kindergarten class to tell me about a fucking mountain range?
I'm trying to finger paint here, motherfucker.
I'm doing the Alps! Sorry.
And then they will say, "Look at these cute little characters.
They're like little cartoon...
They were aliens.
Yeah,
They
they're
were
aliens, yeah.
And they tell you a little story about banking, and you save with them, and then you have to go home and ask
They
your
make you
parents.
sign a contract saying that you will never pick up ethical super.
This is the mantra of the Dolomites is, we make savings nice and easy, whatever the amount. A Dolomite go further in a Dolomite account at the Commonwealth Bank.
in a Commonwealth account.
What? I didn't know that a fucking song.
They make savings nice and easy, whatever the amount. A Dolomite go further in a Dolomite account.
Dolomite account.
Look at this
Commonwealth
propaganda is
Bank.
incredibly effective.
Yeah,
Bank.
I had a Dolomite account, and I was with the Commonwealth Bank until I was 34.
They literally sign up kids to their fucking bank.
They give you a checkbook.
Yeah.
But
And
the
your
bank,
parents have to go. And your
And a
parents have to
credit
give money.
card.
The bank
and each
account-
week, you need to in front of your class be like, "My parents are letting me deposit like $4 or whatever," and some other
50
kid is
cent
like
piece.
some other kid is like $20 or whatever, and you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, well, I feel like a piece
Probably
of
the,
shit."
it's probably the kid who knows about the Dolomite Mountains.
the bank account from which I invoice and get paid into for my freelance career
It's still
is
The
the
Dolomite
Dolomite
account.
account.
yeah, my Combank account, which I still have.
It just
Zed Tunnels-
matures into
yeah.
a Streamline account.
Sorry.
Which is like, I think the Dolomite account also has a really bad interest rate.
Yeah, it does.
It's like, it's such a rip
It's something. It's literally like if you, regardless of how much money you put in, you get 10 cents every year.
I happen to know that all Dragon Friends finance is in a Commonwealth Bank account, and I also happen to know that you set that up.
Yeah.
Is this the butterfly?
Well, I
fluffing-
wanted to have the same net bank, so it would be easy for me to check. So yes, you're right. Dragon Prince finances are run through my Dolomites
So
account.
when our viewers sub,
I didn't realize. You're right. It is.
No,
When
but
our-
like
when
Pokemon, like the account like grows up to become a
yeah,
we
Dave
getting
doesn't
10
have like
cents a year in our interest?
Dave gets sent a holographic ruler every.
That's right.
But does that mean that when people give us subs,
We also get a slap band.
They are giving money through the Dolomites.
Yeah.
Are you doing cocaine? Are you doing cocaine on the stream? On the stream?
Alex Lee!
Alex
I
Lee!
thought you had this sorted.
You can't do cocaine on the stream!
This is a no cocaine zone, Alex.
I was trying to wipe my nose in a polite way.
So you did cocaine?
You did a bump of cocaine off a key? Is that what you did?
Do I have to show you my dirty tissue?
No, that's really not necessary. Okay, so
Us, the boogers.
Charlie Goodboy goes on to explain that your fellow members of the detective agency, Rockford Balboa and Selma Fate, as well as one itinerant ex-glass pig called Dipshit, had made their way into the largest and only public funeral cemetery in Waterdeep, the City of the Dead, outside of curfew on this day. Trying to help Dipshit find a grave of his father, but disaster struck. They were attacked by a necromite who rose skeletons from the ground, and they fell into the debris of the cemetery. Trapped. Only Charlie was able to escape, and like a good boy, knowing that Sonny's got trouble on a cliff, has raced to tell you that
How
they
far
need
is
help.
the City of the Dead? I know this.
Yeah.
How far is it?
It borders the castle ward, so it would have been about a 10-minute run.
Okay.
Oh, that's a... Oh, yeah.
Dogs are good. Dogs can run.
Dogs can run.
Dogs are faster than people. Tell you that much for free.
You lost a rather expensive bet discovering that, didn't you?
Yep.
That dog is gonna have to hold up for a second, because like I don't know who any of these people are. Are they like connected to us or?
Yeah,
what's
Zephyr,
the deal?
these are our colleagues I was telling you about on the way when you weren't listening and you were
On your fancy iPhone.
you're doing glyphs on a tablet.
I think actually Zephyr possibly. I said like Triple J unearthed artists. If there is any kind of fantasy social media network that is like friendly with the youth in Waterdeep, you're quite big on it.
TikTok.
Oh, what would be
Zip-zop.
fantasy?
Zip-zop, there you go.
Yeah, I've actually got about 90,000 followers on Zip-zop, so
Did you choose that
just
number
gotta
because that's how many
stoke-
Tom Cardy had?
No, it's actually 2,000 more than Tom
Oh,
Cardy,
right, okay.
unless I chose it on purpose.
What's your channel? What do you do on your channel?
Like people send me a word and I just like make up a song on the spot.
Oh, that's awful.
So that's a skill you can just drop on the spot.
Yeah.
Like right now, for example.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I would normally do it. I mean, can you hold this phone?
Okay, I hold the phone and go, oh gosh, it's so hard to... here's one.
Skeletons.
Skeletons.
Okay. He left a card and a bar of soap and a scrubbing brush next to a note that said, "Use this down to your skeleton."
Fuck you.
You
You have 90,000 followers for doing that?
Yeah.
Use this
That's
down
good
to your
getting-
skeleton?
That's the start of a really good song.
It's poetry.
I want to be clear as well that
Thank you. Oh my god, thank you so much.
When-
Yes, it
when
is.
Zephyr said-
do you follow me or?
when Zephyr said fantasy phone as well, what we're talking about is, of course, a from the font of knowledge, a metamagic sending stone that she has that are quite expensive, and you can add this to your
A drift
inventory.
one?
You have a sending stone.
I also don't know if that
Oh,
reference would have made sense to anyone outside of
This room.
this room. But in about 2003, Australian singer-songwriter Missy Higgins burst onto the scene with her hit Scar. And that was the song Alex was just doing a parody to. But I'm almost certain it did not go international.
Well, do you know what? Whether or not it
Are
did...
you sure? If you are international, let us know.
Yeah.
It's going international
Can
now.
you answer this?
do you know that the first outbreak in Melbourne, there was of COVID, there was a doctor...
Not Missy Higgins.
No.
Hear me out. There was a
Yeah.
doctor who had COVID and still treated a bunch of patients.
Oh, gosh.
And I could have some of this wrong, so don't sue me for defamation. But he was like a super spreader. He was like in the news as a super spreader. And then there was just this article that was like, oh, by the way, that's Missy Higgins' dad.
Oh.
Yeah.
He'd flown back to the
Oh,
States and didn't
yeah.
realise.
So that's in the
COVID.
MHU, the Missy Higgins Extended Universe.
Which we are now. in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, great. So So you fill Zephyr in. It's been about 2 months, I think, since the agency started up. But Zephyr, you've been flitting between this and your zip-zop career, so obviously you've had less time to join the others. The rest of you have had a chance to meet each other. So it's about 10 minutes, as I said.
Charlie, should we go to this? How important is it we go?
And
sorry, I was good at my voice. Sorry.
Let him get into character.
Charlie, how important is it that we go to the city of the dead? Because we were trying to get into this funeral. See, this wake. There's free sandwiches.
And by the way, we were getting into the wake. Let's be clear. We were going to get in, but then you came.
I don't know. You were struggling.
Our friends are there. They're in trouble. They could die. That's pretty important. I'm going to go back. And I run off.
I should point out, by the way, okay, so yeah, you start running back towards the City of the Dead,
I do.
leaving the three of you standing outside a party.
Okay. Guys, can we just all agree that we could be at this party, but the right thing to do is to rescue the other members of the Gribbits Detective Agency? Because he's gotten really good at not saying that out loud.
Okay, well, I don't think we're getting into this party anyway. So.
Well, again, we would have, but we're making the choice not to.
I run back and I'm like, guys, come on. And I run off again.
Yeah, okay.
Before we rush off all freaking willy-nilly, is there anything from this party that we could use to help us fight those skeletons? I've never really fought a skeleton.
Crucially, you haven't gotten into the party yet.
Well, there's this nice velvet rope that we've seen a lot of. We could take the velvet rope.
If you want, you can take the rope. You know what? There's two
Bollards?
Bollards. You can take bollards if
Remember
you want.
when those bikies beat that person to death at Sydney Airport with a bollard?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah.
That was a big deal.
When was that?
2000, I was a runner in the ABC newsroom at the
I
time.
was at uni.
Yeah, maybe 2007, 2009.
Yeah,
something like
just
that.
went to town or
So if
something.
a biker is at an airport on the way and needs to beat someone to death, you'll be able to help them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll take a bollard and we'll take a sash.
Okay, you take a sash. Excellent. You made your way. I
You
should.
know what I'm calling this? I'm calling this my Tom Bollard.
What's that a reference to?
Did you ever
Who's that?
see the travelling play Tonightly
Jesus.
that would go in all the nobody did. That's why it was nobody.
One of the monologue rides on that was very bad.
Well, some of us, really did our best to write them within the time that we were given. So
Did you... Wait, do you write comedy? Is that what this is?
no, I'm just saying. I've heard that small team. A lot of work. So.
You're saying that I really worry. In Dragon Friends, obviously, Frieza gets too close to Hing, but is Tomothan Trotwood an ex-monologue writer for a travelling comedy show?
Yeah, it's the Wolf Review.
The dwarf review there.
I reckon.
there we are.
The Dwarf Review. I reckon-
Bing bang bong.
I think that Tomothan Trotwood is a seasoned subscriber to the Dwarf Review, and he's only written monologues and sketches in that after the review he sends them in, and they've never replied, and he assumes at some point they will start using them.
Yeah, it's like Tobias always being in blue makeup in case he gets the understudy call.
Great, all right. Big fan of the Dwarf Review. So, there's so much fucking Australian fear tonight, I really apologise. While you race towards the cemetery, the City of the Dead, this is an opportunity for a lot of you to level up. We're now level 2.
Yes.
I'm going to do this really quickly going through. I've done most of it for you, but a couple of opportunities for you to add additions. First of all, you get to pick a new spell.
Yes.
Have you picked one?
Yes, I have. I have picked Guiding Bolt.
All right, so Tomothan Trotwood can now cast Guiding Bolt. Yes, Guiding Bolt.
I get to zap somebody and hurt them with some dice.
Yes, that's right.
But then also the next person to hurt them with anything gets advantage.
That's right. Yes, it sort of makes it easier to hit them.
Because you're guided by my bolt.
That's right. Also, now at level 2 as a cleric, you can channel divinity. 2 major applications for that, which is you can heal people, and you could, for instance, use it right now on your good friend Charlie Goodboy, who's quite hurt.
I'd love to do that.
So Charlie Goodboy, you can go back up to half of your maximum hit points if you want.
Do I have to do anything with my character sheet?
No, it's fine. I'll track that for you. And
Who's a good boy?
the other thing that you can do is after you can once more today after this during this adventure you can heal again, or you can turn undead. Do you know what that is?
I can turn undead.
No.
Yikes.
It's weird that it's called that. It's confusing. So no, it's a very old Dungeons and Dragons thing. It's called turn undead. And what it means is when you channel divinity, the undead shy back away from
Cool.
you. You can create a circle while chanting and
Well, that's good because we're on our way to a bloody graveyard.
that's what I'm telling you. Yeah, in reverence of Torm.
Good if we're on our way to a Coles or something, wouldn't be useful. But as it stands, a graveyard.
There you go.
Skeleton monsters and the like. This is good information to have.
There you go. Alex, Zephyr Bell also gets a new spell. It's up to you if you do you have a flavor you would like, and I can suggest something, or do you want to pick one yourself?
How do I choose them? Just from managed spells?
Manage spells. Yeah. You just prepare another spell. Add a spell.
Hell yeah.
But while you
I'm gonna do. Should I dip in the bag?
just pick one. Yeah, pick one you don't like the name of. It doesn't matter. You can get any of those.
So anything in this list, I can learn.
Yes, that's right. You pick one and you can learn. While you're having a look, Hing, you also, I believe this is Matt Mercer's weird custom class, Bloodhunter.
Yeah, I get to
Crimson
choose.
Rite.
Yeah, Crimson Rite. At second level, you learn to invoke a rite of hemocraft within your weapon.
Yeah,
It costs
exactly
zero
right.
vitality.
Yeah. So you're going to spend hit points. You don't know how many. A hemo dice worth of hit points.
You lose a number of hit points equal to one roll of your hemocraft die, shown in the hemocraft die column of the Bloodhunter handbook.
This is cool. It's cool shit.
But for the duration of the attack, attacks from this weapon deal additional 1d4 damage of the chosen rights.
So very
I can
simply,
choose
you can channel your blood to make your katana,
either
Longer.
flame, frozen, or storm.
which is cold damage, fire damage, or electric damage.
Yeah. What do you guys reckon? Flame, frozen, or storm?
It's going to become your signature. It's not going to change for a long time. So what?
So flaming sword, frozen sword.
Well, let's stay away from freezing.
Yeah.
Just I have a bad feeling about that as a collection of sounds.
What? You think freezing's bad? You
Just
think
it's the freezer,
freeze?
like it
Little
chills.
shiver goes
Yeah,
down.
it chills me in my willy. You know what I mean?
Well, our options then are burnable flames or storms. So probably
Or
just
freezing, just to spite Ben.
no. I think Deathlich is going to check storm. I think.
Oh, right,
So
lightning.
Storm goes. Yeah,
So you
lightning
can
damage.
channel.
Hey, one who's with Torm and one who's a storm. One who's I don't have anyone for anybody else. Yes, and
This is why the dwarf review aren't calling back.
Has Torm done a has he done an improv class?
I think it is
We've
canon
actually
that he has
established-
done an improv class.
Yeah,
That's
fine.
right, because after saving Rockfall's life, Rockfall wouldn't even come to his grad show.
He's doing level 1 and he had his grad show. So he's now he passed his grad show.
Well, I've leveled up in improv as well.
Make a performance check.
That is a 16?
Yeah, you passed your grad show and you
Thank
are now
you.
in level 2.
So what special
somewhere in your
skill do
character
I get?
sheet you should write level
So you
2
know about
improv.
status.
Yeah, I know about status.
Yeah.
But I don't fundamentally understand its role in
You
a scene.
refuse to go low status in any scene.
High status is the funny one. If here's a tip: if you don't know what to do in a scene, right, and you're sitting in the wings, you know, like you're sort of waiting to go in, and you go, oh, "What's the role for me?" Be anybody's boss. Walk in and go, "You're fired," you know.
What a shit with a big gun.
Yeah, you're fired for doing a bad job at the, wherever
Piss
they are.
factory.
Yeah, and then you can take over the scene and say the things you plan to say. So.
And then you get to be the centre of attention for
Yeah, it's really great. But then someone else might come in, and they might go, "No, you're fired," and you can go, "No, you're not my boss."
Another funny thing, if one of your improv troop members comes by and does this, and then you just ignore it, and you keep talking, they can't stop you. They might bring the lights down, but everyone can still hear you.
There's no law.
Have you picked a spell, Alex?
Yes, I've picked Unseen Servant.
Oh, that's really interesting. Okay, that's just...
Yeah.
Wow, Dave hates it.
No,
Dave
you
hates
get
it,
like
Alex.
a,
Wow,
you get like
Dave
a
hates
ghostly
Wow.
butler, is that right?
Yeah, an invisible, mindless, shapeless medium force that can perform any task that a servant could
Such as-
a servant could do.
Such as holding your phone to allow you to do your zip-zops.
Yeah, exactly. Serve food, pour wine, and it'll just do it for me.
Yeah, great.
How good
Does
is
it have
that?
a will of its own?
No,
Have a Hanna-Barbera voice.
fundamentally it doesn't speak. It
Because
doesn't.
a servant could strangle someone to death.
No, it's not a combatant in the rules of
It
D&D.
could poison someone.
You could poison someone.
Yeah, it could absolutely poison someone.
Yeah, it can interact. It can interact with an object.
Could you really
it says.
turn it out? Do you know what I mean? Like, could we just beat it up a bit?
It
Or-
has 1 hit point, so if
What,
anybody
to
beats it
feel
up,
alive?
I don't know. Just if combat practice.
when you every
Can I
time
try
you-
Can I?
No.
Zephyr.
Oh wait, can you?
Zephyr.
It kind of if you drop to the spell ends. Oh, I mean, I guess you could, but it'll kind of waste my spell.
Yeah, it'll last for an hour every time you cast it, or until Deathlich gets bored and kills it.
Right. Okay.
It's my entourage.
Okay, great. Well, you have your unseen servant, and it is.
Let's go fight some skeletons. Let's go fight some skeletons.
All right, no, that's fine. So, chanting his intention to break into a cemetery in violation of the code legal, you walk down the street.
Yeah.
Loudly proclaiming your plan to do a crime.
I'm trying to psych everybody up.
Okay, so
Maybe leave that bard stuff to me, okay, buddy?
Okay, well, why don't you do it? I'll give you one of your little zip zops. Oh gosh, it's hard when you're on the spot, isn't it?
I'm not doing a collaborative on my
2 years of improv.
Well, why don't you G up the troops there? Because I've done my bit.
Okay, I mean, sure. Like, is that a bard thing?
Yeah, you can inspire people. Remember, you can inspire all of them if you want on the way up, and you'll use up your inspire abilities, but you'll give them all their bonus dice. You can do that.
Have we had a rest? Because I think
you've had a month, so you've had a good old rest.
Oh, I've had a big old rest. All right, okay. Here's my thing. Everybody, just remember that skeletons fucking suck.
You all take a second to really internalize that.
Yeah, okay.
Nodding to yourself, you arrive at the Coffin's March Gate, the main entrance into the City of the Dead. Now, it is...
You guys all have an inspiration die.
Do we?
That's the rules, yeah. It doesn't matter what it is, that inspires you. So the next check that you all do, you can add one of these triangular D4 dice to.
But do we get to choose it, or it's just
the next one?
Just the next one, okay.
The next one you do. So with that, you arrive at the Coffin's March Gate. Now, like I said, the celebration of the funeral has been going on for several hours. It is now past night. It is against the code legal to break into the cemetery after hours, and you can see that the cemetery is, as it is always, guarded by 2 watchtowers. There are lights high up in the towers, obviously giving them a view over the City of the Dead. The City of the Dead, by the way, for anyone that wasn't here the last time we did this, is about the size of Central Park. It's a huge chunk of Waterdeep.
Is it Central Park in New York?
Yes, yeah.
Not the shopping centre in Ultimo, Sydney.
No, that's if you subdivided the levels of the Ultimo Central Park and put them side by side, it would still be far too small.
I think it would be, yeah.
Does this Central Park also have a Din Tai Fung that's now closed?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure. Somewhere inside, does
it have a pigeonhole?
No, but
one of those shops that sells ceramic
I know what a
owls
fucking pigeonhole is. Somewhere where you can get it's a novelty multi-tool and it's a wooden watch.
Yeah, I walked past the other day, they had a sign out the front that said, "We sell Frankie magazine," and I actually said to myself, "Of course you fucking do."
It's a pigeonhole. It's like, oh no, I haven't bought a present for Christmas, but don't worry, there's a fucking pigeonhole nearby. Yes, exactly. Somewhere in there. Who knows? It's a huge, huge space. It is maintained by the city. It is guarded by patrols of the Model Watch. And the Coffin's March Gate, after hours, is locked and barred with a huge chain and a sturdy padlock. There's no need for a guard to stand because the gates are locked shut, although there are clearly still guards in the towers.
How high is it?
The height of the walls is about 10 feet, and there are spikes along the top. It doesn't look impossible to climb. It looks potentially quite painful.
Can we talk to the guards?
There are no guards. As I said, there are watchtowers you can see inside, above it, but there are no guards in front of the locked gate.
How wide are the bars?
I think I can pick a lock.
Can you?
I think so.
I mean...
I got thieves' tools.
Yeah, you can give it a go if you want.
What would it require?
It would require a...
Is it dexterity?
If you have thieves' tools, then you just... it's dexterity +2, because you'll be proficient with your thieves' tools.
Yeah, okay. So dexterity is +3. So that's +5.
That's... Yeah.
And what do I need to get? What do I need to get?
You rolled a 19, so click, and they...
You know what? I'm just going to add this to it anyway. Yep. That's a 4. It's 23, Dave.
23.
You get to keep the lock.
So something that none of you had seen or expected is that Nathan Skullbread has purchased off from a small traveling salesman a collection of lockpicks and has taught himself, as a party trick, to pick locks.
This is because I'm an urban bounty hunter.
Oh yeah.
Well, is that fun to do?
No, it's very serious.
Is that like geocaching?
Oh yeah, it's like geocaching.
Yes,
You
it
go out and find
Geocaching.
lunchboxes.
No, it's not like geocaching.
People in the chat are pointing out we've been playing for 15
sounds
minutes
like
and it's the
geocaching.
first roll.
Well,
If you wanted us to do more dice rolls,
Yeah.
you should
Should have-
watch.
Critical Role.
You should watch Critical. I mean, that's the role's in the title for them, you know. Whereas
Yeah.
Dragon
Yeah.
Friends, it's
About
Yeah.
his friends.
why don't you just go watch the fucking Monopoly channel if you like dice rolls so much? You know what I mean?
dice.com. You know, we don't even
Just
need to
tap
go to-
that little button. Get that give you a rush.
Dice.com.
You
Get
little
yourself a bottle
pervert.
set and just pop.
Google.com, type in roller dice. There's
Yeah.
a little screen that comes up. You can pick all the dice you want to roll yourself, okay?
You're a nasty little stiffy.
Yeah.
Look,
That could be a horrible
Oh,
little bonus.
Yahtzee!
Oh, that's
go to one of
you.
your fucking
Simon's
nerd
doing you.
stores. Go to one of your nerd
you.
stores. Buy your own D20. Roll that
There you
your
go.
fucking
There
self.
you go.
Yeah.
Here's some fucking ASMR.
Yeah, here we go.
Oh, you like that? You like that, you little pervert?
Yeah. Why don't you fuck off?
I want you all at home to remember that I'm the only one who declined from calling you all nasty little dice perverts. So
That's because
just,
Alex
just
doesn't have
remember
any
that.
actual dice in her house. She refuses to.
It's true.
Oh, we should definitely stop turning on the fans like that. Okay.
Thanks for the subs.
Thanks for thank you
Thanks
so
for the
much.
subs. Thank you again.
So much for the chugga choo choo
Goes without
train.
saying
Fucking
thank
worms.
Can you guys
You
imagine?
love this.
Can you guys imagine how crazy it would be if after doing all that we got another hype train? Can you imagine? How
We would hate
we
that.
wouldn't. We couldn't. It couldn't happen. We just told them to go watch the Monopoly. Can you imagine? Oh, I just
They'd have
texted
to be a
Nicole.
real bunch of perverts to do that.
What is this? When did this
Filthy
begin?
we're a Findom channel now. Findom channel now. Send us $40, you filthy perverts. I want $40.
Oh my god. Okay, so
I'm selling feet
Imagine-
pics. Is that what you want?
Can you imagine the Critical Role people just staring down the barrel of the camera and calling the audience perverts?
filthy little dice pervert.
I
Does
think
that
it
give
would
you
be
a
more accurate,
horrible
to be
little
honest.
stiffy, you filthy little dice perverts?
Somebody in our audience
Don't job on us, please.
just realised something about themselves, and I'd say more power to you.
Yeah. Hey, if you're that person, $40 fucking dollars. I want 40 Bezos bucks.
Okay, so click, and you get the lock, a beautiful old piece of water
Should we
Davian.
start a Dragon Friends OnlyFans account?
Yeah.
Only friends?
Can I ask you,
Only.
why did we need to unpick this lock if we know that Charlie came from here?
So
Did he lock the gate behind
Yeah,
him when
he's
he
a good
left?
boy.
I guess
I didn't want the ghoulies to get out.
I assume that
No,
the
I don't
patrols that have locked the gate again. It's a good question.
There was probably, yeah.
And also, you didn't
Guards.
know where they were, so you left more than 10 minutes ago. You've gone to Quicklime House, looked for them, been told that most of them were just at the Hall of Justice, and then you have found them at the Hall of Justice. So, the gate's now opened, and you're all able to slip inside. Just as long as you're aware, you are breaking the law.
Well,
Oh no, the law.
Oh, I love that. That made me feel real cool.
Okay, so you...
Also, I'm doing the wrong thing for the right reason. And that's, a man's laws are just that for men, and I'm a dog, man. So, it only applies to the man part of me.
I think that's really true, Charlie. I think that's really, really true.
Thank you.
Here's a treat. Okay.
Are there like dog laws or like what?
Yes.
Are there 3 laws of
The three.
The three
laws
laws of the dog.
Dogdamics?
Yeah.
What are
they
they?
are, don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Ah, good, yep.
Always be wagging.
ABW. Always be wagging.
ABW.
And it's never wrong to sniff a butt.
Never wrong to
That's-
sniff a butt. All right, the 3
Yeah.
laws of dognomics. Wonderful. Okay, so you make your way in. As you enter, you realize that something is very wrong. The City of the Dead stretches out in front of you.
Is this like Pellichet? Have you based
is-
this on
it is-
Pellichet in your mind?
Well, I haven't. This is part of what it is.
Anastasia
I
Pellichet.
assume it is based on Pellichet.
Hey.
It's a Byzantine walkway of narrow alleyways between mausoleums and graves, and presumably somewhere Morrissey's dead there.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
you
Morrissey's not dead. I don't think.
Oh, you
they're
think
gonna-
It's Jim Morrison.
It's Jim Morrison.
Yeah,
isn't
Jim
it?
Morrison.
Yeah, it's Jim Morrison.
Morrissey,
I think you're saying
Morrissey is
Morrison was
alive
just-
and mad about The Simpsons.
Yeah. I think Morrissey was called a racist recently by
gone
The Simpsons.
Crazy, hasn't he? Yeah.
And now he's trying to sue The Simpsons or something. I don't know.
When you said Morrison's not
He's
dead,
charming, man.
I thought you were saying Morrison's not dead, and I thought you were going to say that he was entombed alive inside like a vault underneath the city so that he couldn't harm us anymore. Now, you sneak...
Jim Morrison or Van Morrison?
Jim Morrison.
Jim Morrison.
Van
Van
Morrison
Morrison's
did
still
just die.
alive.
No, he died.
Of COVID?
No, I think just old age.
What? Like he was alive like a month ago?
Yeah.
Because he was huge anti-vax.
Was he?
Yeah, he did a concert with Eric Clapton where they were like... Done.
Mate, I think if you're Eric Clapton, and you're worried about the safety of your kids,
Oh.
it's not the vaccines, you know what I mean? It's not the fucking, just, Dr. Hill itself. It's just,
Jesus.
Fuck! You know what? I actually don't even think it was Eric Clapton. Oh my god.
I'd like to apologise to Eric Clapton.
All right, you sneak your way into the graveyard. Alleyways lined by mausoleums stretch out in front of you. There is a groundskeeper's hut nearby. You can see the lights of shadowy watchtowers nearby and the howling of hound dogs over in the nighttime.
Oh.
There ain't nothing like 'em.
They let dogs into the graveyard to
Who let the
sniff
dogs?
out would-be grave diggers. You've all had too much candy and you've gotten silly.
Well, whose fault was that?
But also, instantly, it does not take an Arcana check to know that something is very wrong, for the air has a unseasonal mist about it, and in a hill to the distance, you can see what looks like a unholy purple light emanating from the distance, deeper and deeper into the graveyard.
Do I recognise that as where I previously was?
It
or-
looks like it was the
Okay.
direction that you had come from. That is correct.
Okay.
Now, you are now all inside as you carefully close but don't lock the Coffin's March gate behind you.
I reckon that sinister purple light is where we're going to want to head to.
I'm already running ahead to the sinister purple light.
Are you running loudly? Are you like
I'm just like stealth running.
Stealth running.
stealth running?
Well, I'm like
Are you making an athletics check or a stealth check?
I'm making an.
Let's make an Arcana check.
When in doubt.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you reckon.
Well, it really depends on, are you trying to get there fast or are you trying to...
I'm trying to get there fast.
Okay, so you're making an athletics check, but not immediately, for as the Gribbits Detective Agency make their way into the graveyard, it seems that some dice will be rolled. Perhaps a dice to determine how athletic Charlie Goodboy is. Perhaps that dice roll will be big, or high and triumphant, or low and feeble. Perhaps it will be the second dice roll
Oh my
of
god,
this
it's the end of the episode.
stream and the first episode
that what you
of
want, you
this
filthy
session.
fucking
And
dice
perhaps that
perverts?
dice roll will give you a horrible little stiffy, but who knows? We'll find out in the next episode of the Gribbits Detective Agency. Thank you. That's right. There's been one dice roll now, and we're promising one to come.
We did talk about the Dolomites for about 20 minutes.